ロとは私が大会に出た時出会ったの。愛し合ってたの。ってことはそりゃしてたわよ。
A year ago, I made a behind-the-scenes video going over Punch Punch Forever being shadow banned on YouTube. At the time, it was only a pilot, with many wondering if it'd get more episodes. That is until Speedoru made a community post shortly after saying, yep, still making it, and it's still shadow banned. So today, we talk about some of the stuff from episode 2's behind-the-scenes production, cause I like doing that. I like looking at stuff, I like going, oh, what's that? But if you haven't seen the first video, you should go do that, because I also focus on Speedoru's history as an animator, which we won't do here. Hello, I'm Ryan. We're gonna be talking about Punch Punch Forever, episode 2. Episode 2, the second one. PPF is an online animated series created by Irish animator Speedoru.
Gogo Matsumoto, an 11-year-old aloof martial arts prodigy, along with her half-demon older sister, Nono, her mama, Mama, and her cool pet frog, Cool Frog, competes in a martial arts tournament pitting humans against demons from another realm.
Thank you, IMDb recap, but what's the second episode about?
Even when trying to go for a relaxing camp out in the woods, the Matsumoto family is bitterly reminded that opponents in the Infinite Tournament can pounce at any place at any time. Well, that flippin' stinks.
Yes, this is a horror, kind of Halloween, but not really episode. When watching it, they again hinted that Nono is the daughter of Emperor Koro, and I thought they would have kept it going for a few more episodes, going like, will she find out? You'll have to wait and see, until they didn't when it was revealed at the very end. Also, who Gogo's dad is. Overall, it was a funny haha episode of good plot progression. This wasn't going to be like a review going, oh, but actually, the line worker this was a bit silly, and I can't recommend it, it's so dumb. Because this video is about behind the scenes stuff, which we're going to get into right now. We're gonna get into it right now. Work began shortly after episode 1 was released in August 2023. At the time, he was also working on 2 other projects, so he was only really just loosely writing some ideas down. But progress would be a bit slow at first, as writing was harder than he initially thought. For episode 1, he was essentially telling the audience what was going on, and every episode after that is a bit more free range, and there were some doubts if episode 2 is gonna be as good as the first one. Quote,
wait, is this as good as episode 1 now? I can't tell.
I should mention that like last time, this wasn't his voice, as I got my friend Dev to read some lines. So that's not Speedoru, that's not Speedoru talking. These are just words being spoken by somebody else. Anyway, by the time he finished storyboards, he'd be happy with how it turned out. Even at the early stages of episode 2, this would be exceptionally longer. The final runtime being 12 minutes and 29 seconds and 8 minutes and 9 seconds respectively. So imagine the runtime of an average Adult Swim episode of a show. And with this episode, he was able to dive more into his other interests, such as horror. The antagonist of the episode would be Gason and Geico, which is an homage to Jason Voorhees, you know, of the Dumb Dead Child on a Lake series. My favorite. The funny part was that with him describing the first episode as lost tapes he found, people thought it was an analog horror thing. It's not. And what didn't help was him splicing together footage from other Japanese shows, such as the face from Taro Montaro in Trouble, Spooky, or footage of people having a good time, Spooky, which is now a good time to talk a little bit about some references to real world stuff. Spooky, the portable TV Gogo was watching on, is a clear parody of Casio. Yeah, there was a time when people had portable TVs and were like super happy about them. Like imagine gallons and gallons of happiness shooting from you if you got this in the 90s. I get to watch Bears on the Go. On Mama's dashboard, we see a reference to the cassette tape for Bravo by Baby, a reference for his love for Japanese pop music. In the bar watching a Sandy TV, we see the first ever fan character for Punch Punch Forever created by Roblox fan 947. And in this scene, hidden by Emperor Koro, we see a VHS player with Blu-ray, which is a bit funny to see timeline-wise. Is it the 90s? Is it the 2010s? What were they thinking? While the beer Nono was drinking was simplified in the final release, it's originally going to be based on Centauri beer because it looks cool, funny little mascot. Within the show, we actually see a fake advertisement for Jockey. On the first episode, we have Snepus, a parody of Pepsi. Forgetting for a second how shows advertise stuff with characters, could this be a TV show within the real world? Like Cool Frog within their world, then Gogo knows Cool Frog IRL. What actually matters is that this other interstitial was created by Picasso Trigger. Originally, he only wanted one character animated, but Picasso was like, nah, I'm gonna do them all. I'm gonna do all of them eating some ramen. Early work of the episode would be done in Adobe Flash.
For me, Flash/Animate is so much quicker and convenient in pretty much every aspect. So I tend to stick with that for the early work and locking everything in before I move on to the cleanup in Clip Studio Paint.
So we have storyboards and animatics with very high quality vectors. However, tying everything down would be done in Clip Studio Paint EX. This wouldn't be a vector-based program, however the drawings were done at a pretty high resolution. Also, if you want to know what brush you use, it's called AnyPen, but you actually have to buy Clip Studio Paint to actually use it because of server stuff. I actually drew Nono using it. Fun! I hope that with Punch Punch Forever, more people try out Clip Studio Paint EX for animation. With the ability to pay once for a perpetual license at a pretty low cost, it beats out Adobe and Toon Boom. Alright, you can buy Toon Boom Harmony outright, but Jesus Christ, it costs way too much money. Like, being an animator is expensive. expensive for no reason. Though you should note that Clip Studio Paint often goes on discount, so you can always wait a bit. Aside from price, being able to import brushes pretty easily and a whole community just making them is quite a fun program to use. Not only that, you would export the final animations as a PNG sequence with effects being done in After Effects. So be sure to watch this in 4K on YouTube to see all the details, such as him animating I hate animating water and the water itself from the outhouse. I also have a copy of it without filters or subtitles that have been showing on screen for a lot of the video, and I'll tell you where to find it later. You just gotta stay tuned. You guys gotta stay tuned.
可愛いゴーゴーちゃんのためだもの。おっと、ほんのちょっと目を離しちゃってたわ。
Episode 2 is a big stepping stone for two major things for Speedoru. The first is that he went bald during production, so he's more aerodynamic now. It's actually a speedrunning tip for animation. And secondly, he let people work a bit more with him on the animation.
It's still mostly just me, but a few others listed in the credits helped me out with this one, either cleaning up / coloring some of the shots, or doing rough animation for some of the shots in the fight scenes. Maybe about 40 to 50-ish seconds of animation total was assisted. The rest is just me.
Studio Melzo do some of the cleanup and color for the episode. Speedoru would also have some fears about people matching his style, however conclude in the end that most people won't notice and that he does need to get over this hurdle. It is always the fear of not only staying on model, but making sure that people using similar programs and brushes capture the same feel as the characters you already drew, which can be hard, I would say, even when drawing the characters off model for a funny painting or two. While he initially planned for the episode to be released around April or May, the project would get delayed a little bit. Final release would be that of June 2024. But come on, just waiting 8 months for an animation, 12-minute cartoons, it's not so bad. Come on, it's not so bad, guys. Just come on. A neat little tidbit is that outside the intro music, he would do the rest of it himself. You should check out Sasaki Kasa's 16-bit version of the theme song. Very nice. But yeah, if you want to check out the entirety of episode 2's music, you can check it out over at his Newgrounds account. It's right there. But for sound effects, that's a bit of a different story.
Didn't include sound effects as I didn't make any of them, but I picked them over the years in various cartoons and game sound packs. For instance, the Ed, Edd and Eddy sound effect packs that are out there, or video game sound packs like Street Fighter EX and Darkstalkers.
And you probably noticed by now that the entire thing is in Japanese. To achieve this, he worked with Bababa1717 and the voice dubbing group Rash81M. You may have actually seen their works before, dubbing Hazbin Hotel, Ina, and even Captain Yojima from Worthy Kids. Also a fun little note, he actually made a playlist full of Japanese pop music to listen to while he animates the works, which will be another thing I'll show you at the end of the video, but you just have to stay tuned for that. But with all that, what's next for the series? Is it episode 3? Is it something else entirely? Well, before we get into it, we're gonna take a little break as I tell you to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. I'll see you very, very soon. Also, do you know where I am? Like, I thought I was gonna be in my regular studio, but now I'm just like here. Like, I don't know where here is, but I guess I'll find out soon, I think. When it comes to online indie cartoons, the first question after watching the pilot is, what's next? Well, we got episode 2, but what about after that? Of course. Well, Speedoru has some ideas floating around. First and foremost would be merchandise for the show. As much as AdSense can help an animator as well as Patreon, putting merch into fans' hands is very important. Besides making money and brand recognition, making your fans happy is a must, I would say. It's very important. Very important, I would say. Just as important is me showing you this cool tattoo this person got of his works. That's nice. I will show a little bit of what he's working on, but not everything, because things are subject to release, so if it looks different, don't blame me. He's thought about merch from everything from shirts, posters, stickers, pins, and maybe little figures here and there. I personally love a Cool Frog one because it's a mascot and it's a bit funny to look at. Best character in the show? Comment below who's your favorite character right now. Stop drawing for a second and please type something. Please, thank you. Please type right now. After that, to mitigate the wait between major episodes, you have thought about producing shorts. Something around 1 to 2 minutes about the everyday lives of the characters. So think of them as filler episodes, but not episodes, just shorter. We did get a little taste of it with this Christmas gift he made over the holidays in 2023. The winter holidays. You can even see a little SNES controller and Mama burning up the Christmas turkey. Well, this next part was from the first video. I'm gonna ask Dev to revoice it because it's pretty important to hear, I would say. Pretty important to hear a second time.
A successful Kickstarter campaign wouldn't necessarily guarantee a good or timely delivered end product either. There's been many horror stories over the years. I'd feel better if people just think the next episodes of PPF suck rather than PPF had a big Kickstarter campaign and the episodes still suck. What the fuck?
I can understand a lot of what he's going through. As mentioned in the quote, attaching a monetary value to the entire project, as well as wait time, can make fans angry if they dislike the final result. While there is financial security, the worry of funds weighs more than animating ever could. This is why people kept hounding the Friday Night Funkin' crew, because they raised over $2.2 million for a game that is taking a bit of time to create. The hardest thing about making an indie show isn't the first episode, but the second, third, and so forth, and the fourth. However, there is some solace knowing the fate of Punch Punch Forever, that we will be getting more episodes, and there is something to look forward to. I made videos about pilots being put into limbo, either because people are pitching it, maybe they're seeking funding, or things didn't quite go their way behind the scenes. Not that Speedoru wouldn't be opposed if it was getting pitched, but it's not at the forefront of his mind. Unlike his characters being put up on the forefront of the newgrounds, in honor of the passing of the late Japanese manga artist Akira Toriyama. Punch Punch Forever be a love letter to artists all around. For him to let the interstitials and small here's and there's being animated by other people is why indie animation is as good as it can be. Just as much as seeing how many artists on the show show off their behind the scenes works on Twitter. This is a labor of love to be admired and appreciated for. Also, of course, managing to get the legendary Sephiroth Sword to play the Emperor of Japan was great to see, though his absence in the previous episode was greatly missed. This cartoon would classify more under the auteur variety of indie cartoons. With most of the end product being made by him, this is essentially a more true version of what he would want to make. With most of the animation done by himself, as well as the music, he opened up the pages and delegated where he could so he can focus on certain aspects he wanted to emphasize. It does become tricky the longer the series would go on for, as whether or not this is an approach that he would want to continue with. It would mainly depend on how much money Punch Punch Forever can earn, and if the right people are available for whatever he would like to be done. Perhaps in the next episode, maybe more than a minute, could be animated by the people. Though one can assume he'll still make the main music cause he likes doing it, and Speedoru is a busy guy, so you can still have your auteur vision with other hands in this pizza pie, mamma mia.
Mama, ice 食べたい!
ああ、記憶を美化してる感じですね。
Wait a second, what about before? When you talked about how I could watch the unfiltered version of the episode, as well as seeing the J-pop playlist he likes to listen to while animating? How do I do that?
Well, none other than Patreon, of course. Yep, this whole video was an ad for his Patreon, the entire goddamn thing. I'm not getting paid for this. Oh, as a side note, the playlist I mentioned before is actually just on his channel right now. So like, that's not part of the Patreon thing. You can just go there right now to listen to some cool music. If you'd like to support such great projects like Punch Punch Forever, be sure to subscribe to his Patreon. There's lots of good behind the scenes work, as I showed within the video. It's a place where you can get the most up-to-date info about what he's got going on. I mean, what I showed on screen was just a little taste of what he's got going on. He's got to see what else happened during the production. Also, to be clear, he also creates not safe for work, so you will see some of that in his Patreon and Twitter. I remember seeing this tweet by My Chud Life that was like,
I think it's funny when porn artists have really good art styles and they end up putting it to good use.
They will clarify that they just don't like seeing porn, but it was a bit of a rude tweet, just a little rude one, because like, he makes good art either way. I mean, just some of it you can't look at it on a bus. Speaking of, to this day, we don't know why YouTube has shadow banned Punch Punch Forever episodes 1 and 2. Sometimes it shows at the top of the results, and sometimes it doesn't. It's weird. He tried contacting YouTube to no avail.
Looks like Punch Punch Forever episode 2 has also been hit with the same bug as episode 1 in that it struggles to show up on the YouTube search results. Bit of a bummer, but I had this feeling this would be the case. I might make a video yapping about this more in detail, but in any case, I really appreciate everyone sharing it around, commenting, fan art, etc. And I'm gonna keep making Punch Punch Forever regardless, because I love it too much to give a crap.
Though I have a small theory that I'm gonna propose to you, actually. So YouTube is a website that tries to entice you to watch videos, so it scans the video, title, and description, everything about it, to determine who it might be best for. With the Japanese voices uploaded to Western YouTube, perhaps the bots over at Google got confused about who to send this to. And I can't confirm the website scans the content to see what's in it, because saying you should hit the subscribe button will often highlight it. Did it work? Did it work for me? Did it recognize it for me? Perhaps one day the cartoons would be free, and be sure to comment the episode shows up for you. I also asked my audience what they thought of the show, and here's some of the comments.
Absolutely beautiful animation, which is common for Speedoru's work, and the humor is spot on similar to the last episode, with my only criticism being that I wish the episodes were longer. I really think that it showcases the quality of writing. It definitely got some strong laughs out of me throughout, plus the action animation felt way stronger, most likely because it was focused on a one-on-one fight this time around. Overall, great stuff.
Punch Punch Forever is always what I'd watch when I was feeling down and had a moment to myself. Having another entire episode is a game changer.
娘さん負けちゃったみたいね。
え、本当に?
As you can see, the momentum of the cartoon has kept it growing and will reach more people each day. Just like Go-Go, the fight rages on, and there's nothing that can stop Speedoru from continuing on. But that's it from me now. Until next time, keep on drawing. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, leave a comment who I should interview or make a video about next. I'm gonna try to get out of this island, this forest. I don't actually know how I got here. I was just kind of teleported here, and now I'm gone. Like I was originally over there. Now I'm over here.